he was already just, it was just a moment. So what are the next steps? Find somebody to write your request for proposal. Define your scoring criteria. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And then take all this homework that you've gathered, use it to compare with your proposal and make your short list of people you want to interview. If that is the way you want to go, you don't have to interview people. You can just take their proposal and select them that way, without it. So here's some tips on defining the scoring criteria. The experience, look for the experience of the company, but if you pick a big boy, for instance, and they're giving you experience in California that was done 10 years ago, and you're doing a job in New York, that experience may or may not apply. The experience, make absolutely certain that the people you interview are going to be the people that are going to do the work. If somebody comes in and they bring their business development team, and they have all been to Dale Carnegie and so-and-so acting school and whatever, and they are smooth, but they aren't going to be the ones you're going to be working with. Don't even talk to them. I think it's a complete insult for somebody to come in and present to you when you're trying to make an honest decision, and they don't bring to you the project manager and the superintendent that is actually going to do the work. So look at the experience of those folks. On some jobs, if it's a relatively simple job, it is my personal belief that a good contractor can cover a lot of territory and may not have quite the experience of what you need, but they are an experienced builder. And if they have a passion for your project, I think that passion can trump specific experience. They've got to meet a baseline, but then after that, I would see who's passionate, about your job. Business stability obviously is important. And again, right size the team. The big guys are going to have a big overhead. And that can be good because they can bring services that the little guys just cannot bring. We like to do medical work, but I can tell you, and we're pretty good, but Brassfield and Lori can talk hospital in a way that I cannot even come close to talking hospital. But Brassfield and Lori is going to have a bigger overhead than I do, and on the right side job, I need to be doing it, and on the right side job, they need to be doing it. So let's see. And again, to me, the best source of information on a general contractor are the subcontractors. And so I consider that very important. I've already sort of covered this. A smooth presentation is not nearly as important as somebody that comes in and they talk the detail on your job. They tell you exactly how they're going to run your project. Nothing else counts. And make sure that you're speaking to the people that are going to do the work. This is not a beauty contest. So don't let flash get in the way of good solid thought. Now I want to talk about fees. And I'm going to argue one way, but I'm perfectly comfortable with a lot of different ways of doing it. And I've already told y'all how the state of Georgia does it, for better or for worse. And if we got time, that'd be a good subject to talk about. But do remember the big picture of what you're trying to accomplish. If you're building a church, that is a 50 or 100-year building. A school is at least a 50-year building. And if building cost is 3.5 to 10 times, the total cost, more than the initial cost, then I don't care what the initial cost is. And especially, yes, I do care, obviously. But the fee, if you're arguing over a 1% difference in the fee, sometimes that's really letting the tail wag the dog. If I'm a good, substantial contractor, and my bonding company says, Chris, you don't have to bond your service. Your capacity is such where we're not going to make you bond your service. I have a 1.5% cost advantage over my competitor. His bonding company says, "You're great, we love buying you, everything's wonderful, but given your situation right now, we are going to have you require, we're going to require you bond those subs." Well, that's going to cost you, the owner, 1.5%. You know, so you select a guy with a 3% fee who bonds the subs versus a 4% fee who doesn't, you lost a 0.5%. So look at the big picture. And I can say that.
What about in the CM contract where it's cost plus, and the CM wants to bond his subs, but you don't want him to bond it, but he feels he needs to bond the major subs?
He's probably different. I'd study that pretty carefully, and I would use his answer to evaluate whether or not he really is giving you the best value. It may be that he is doing it because, regardless of what he says, my bonding company says I've got to buy my subs because I want to have some excess capacity to live the next job. And
So by him bonding his subs, his bonding company's going to give him extra capacity?
If he bonds, yes. Yeah, he gets credit for that in the bonding capacity. So.
But they'll cover you if GC fails.
I've got a bond with him, though. I've got a bond with my CM, but he wants to bond his sub, and I don't want to pay for him to bond his sub, but he says he wants it. And that's not a cost I want to pay.
And I don't think you get any benefit at all from a subcontractor being bonded.
Right, so he's got his bond that covers me.
But you are paying for it.
Right.
And you're paying for it because the CM wants you to pay for it.
Right.
Plus he gets a markup on that.
Maybe.
In addition to that, we asked the question. I can assure you I don't get the same price that my competition gets. I guarantee that. I can't tell you if I get a higher price or a lower price, but I know it's not the same price. If you're a painter and you quote me and my job is to organize and you come on and you make good money, then after a while, that's going to show up. If my job is terribly organized and it costs you money and you've got to paint a wall 3 times and you only figure paint it once or twice, and that happens over and over again after a time, it's going to reflect in your price. And so the quality of the CM can hit your bottom line that you never do see it in a relative to fee. And then the last thing is not only is it just fee, it's fee in general condition. And so what I want to send y'all, if y'all want it, is you have to compare apples to apples, because I can tell you, general contractors can figure out how to hide fee in general condition. That's kind of a fun game to play, you know, we set up at night thinking about that. This is what the Board of Regents for the state of Georgia uses. This is about a 3-page document right here. But it shows you every single thing that the Board of Regents has said, I want you to cover it in your fee, or it's allowable in general conditions, or it's allowable as cost of the work. And so if you make sure when you ask for a quote from general conditions, they all use this. If you ask for a quote, then a quote for fee in general conditions is meaningless if you don't have something like that to compare with. Yes.
Are you saying that's pre-filled out by Georgia and given to somebody?
Yes.
Okay.
And when they quote, they send in a sheet like this with numbers in it, but the numbers are in those columns. This is the second time I did it today, so I was fast. We've got 10 minutes for questions. And I'm sorry, if we've got that much, I probably went through this too quick, I apologize.
We often call a CM at risk, CM at no risk, because at the end of the day, as you mentioned before, there's no contractual relation between the CM and the architect. So if the architect, just like in the hard bid process, if he leaves something out, you have there's no risk to you. You can charge for that, because even if you have pre-construction services, even if you missed it, the fact that you don't have a tie to the architect, I as the owner hold the bag no matter what. So what's your, where is that an advantage to the owner?
I need to think about that, man. But,
The design build is fine. If the architect screws up, you're on the same team. You're paying him, so it's not my problem. But if
but if the architect screws up,
yeah.
I don't have a black and white answer, I mean, a direct answer to that question. But first of all, do your homework on studying who they are. Make sure that your relationship with the CM is 100% transparent. They need to carry a contingency for that type of thing. The architect and the owner and the contractor all need to be aware of it. And mistakes are good. But if somebody has a reputation for doing that, if you properly do your homework, you'll find that out, If it's, something that just is unfortunate, well, that's part of it, I guess, yeah.
You say you do not feel that your sub should be bonded. What about other insurance, general liability and so forth?
You have to carry on. Let me go back. As a
With
general,
respect to the subcontractor.
yes, all of that has to completely be in place. And a bond may be appropriate to be in place. It may be that you've got a sub that you feel pretty doggone well could do the job. You don't quite have the experience with him that you have had over the years with somebody else. There's a little queasiness there on our part. And but he's also got a low number. And evaluate all that and then make a decision. Do I want to take the risk to bond that guy? You as the owner need to be part of that discussion. And you need to know that it's going to add to the cost of the job. And together, the contractor, the CM and the owner, make that decision. So we bond subs on occasion. For that very reason.
Any other questions?
Do y'all need to do copy meeting again?
Yeah, I started about to explain. We're gonna post all of this on the website, as well as when you sign the sheet on the outside, you put your email address down, or leave with me, I can email you, today's presentation as well.
Okay.
And if you want a copy of that sheet, for instance, just give me your card and I'll give all of them to my secretary tomorrow and see, have at it.
Make sure you fill out the evaluation forms at the end. Thank you guys for the,
Thank you.